These two guys, in my opinion, that is, will be your top two at this weekend's Mr. Olympia event, the 2022 show. We have Hadi Choopan. He got third last year. We have Big Ramy Momdelsbaye. He got first. He took first. Now, I predicted Hadi to place second, and of course I predicted Big Ramy to win. There is other factors at play as well. Brandon Curry, William Bonac, Nick Walker, but I believe firmly that Hadi Choopan, he will, if not place second, he could win. He could win. Now there's the whole delt issue, and I'm not going to point too many fingers at that, and I'll explain why, maybe at the end. But having said that, I like Hadi Choopan's condition. Big Ramy, he has the wow factor. He is so gosh darned impressive. Turn to the side here. We have a little bit of a symmetry round. We don't have a rear relaxed, unfortunately. Hadi has the better midsection, maybe better flow, nice man, big man's chest. And again, Ramy, he's big and he has that wow factor. This side here, Ramy looks better. Not saying he looks better than Hadi, but he looks better for him on this side for sure. Hadi, now look at the midsection, guys. There is a condition of Choopan that is just fantastic for Choopan. Is it Choopan? Hadi Choopan? Either which way, guys, that is the symmetry round. Take it for what it is. Go through these shots, and we have a couple different. We have the pre-show, the pre-judging right here, and we have the finals. I'd give this to Ramy. I think he has better arms. Does he have better legs? I think Hadi's legs are more conditioned. Ramy's are huge, and he's been accused of things of that nature. If you guys know what I'm saying. Love the vacuum pose for both guys, but I don't know. I like Hadi's better. But altogether, I think Ramy's just more impressive. Better arms, like I said. Here is the finals. And you can see, if you paid attention, if you were paying attention, the lat expansion. Ramy was huge that first day, and it seems he pulled his claws in a little bit. And Hadi's lats are just as impressive as the prejudging, maybe even more. So yeah, I think for the finals, Hadi was a little bit better. But ultimately, guys, I think this might be a Ramy shot. Next shot, front lat spread. Wow, this is a terrible angle for Hadi. But I think if it was straight on, he would prove that he is dominant in the front lat spread. He's much smaller. Keep that in mind. And that could be a decider too. Because being big is impressive. It has that wow factor about it. Here's the finals. Now, Ramy, he put his delts down. He does this in the finals. It's when he's exhausted. I think he's his conditioning or cardiovascular conditioning, things of that nature. Maybe not as good as Hadi's, because Hadi looked better the next day. Look at this. The man is an iron man for sure. And delts, yeah, I see that. But, hey, you could argue and say, turn to the side. You could argue and say, quads. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, then no explanation is needed. I'm talking about sights. There might be some sights in the delt of Hadi delts, and there might be some sights in the quads of Ramy. So I'm not gonna penalize anybody. Wouldn't you feel awful ridiculous for penalizing somebody when the other guy's doing the same thing? Hadi's huge in the upper body here. Now here's the side by side. I did scooch Ramy over a bit, but I mean, he is huge in the wheels, for sure, Ramy. No doubt. No doubt. As us Canadians say, ooh, eh. But yeah, look at the upper body compared to the chest, or compared to the midsection of Hadi. And again, yeah, I see the delt. I see it. I see it just fine. I think I'm much more impressed with Hadi. Thus far, probably. Side tricep, yeah, I think I am a little bit more impressed with Hadi. But ultimately, guys, bodybuilding is a size game. And Ramy, nobody's as big. Nobody's going to be as huge as this guy. But that detail, the condition, super conditioned, is Hadi. The midsection, in particular, that midsection. So yeah, I'd give it very close in the side. Maybe even edge to Hadi in both side, really. and an edge to Hadi in that front lat. So far, guys, old Mark's Max Muscle, and I've protested this before. I think Hadi a little bit better so far, but don't get ahead of yourself. We have these, the back shots. And if it's a glute competition, like I've heard before, Ramy wins it. Look at that. Condition. Condition plus. I like the V-taper. Much better, prettier shot. It's a more complete back for Hadi. But size, and again, guys, condition, glutes, hamstrings, Ramy, prejudging, I'd say all the way. Now here's the finals. A close-up shot, and I showed this one for conditioning. Ramy's still pretty peeled, shredded. And Hadi might be more conditioned here. His back looks to be more bulbousy, more round, and that's a good thing when your traps stick out like that. Now here is also the finals, and the final say on the rear lat spread. And I think Hadi has a better back. Now listen, hold on, but I think Ramy's just so gosh darn big that he might get it because he's more conditioned, I think, in the glutes. But look at the hamstrings. Look at the separation in the hamstrings. You can't deny that. And much like the front double there, you could see at the finals, Ramy, he wasn't as opened up as wide. So the finals, Hadi could get him. Here's the pre-judging rear double. And the lat insertions, I can hear you guys now. Somebody said that lat insertions are a myth. They're not a myth. If Ramy had those lat insertions of Hadi Choopan, wouldn't even be a competition. Wouldn't even be a question. For sure Ramy would win. Look at the size of the guy. He's not exactly Tinkerbell. Of course, Hadi Choopan's not a small man either. Here's the finals. And I'm not just, covering for my man, Big Ram Mom de Elsbaye. But it appears that Hadi, he might be utilizing the camera angle. I think he stepped back. Or he stepped, I guess, forward, but he's backwards. I think he stepped back a little bit to get a little closer to the camera. But having said that, once again, I think Hadi has a better back in the rear lat and in the rear double. Conditioning could be the final say, though. And Ramy is, he's as dry as they come. Abs and thigh. And here is maybe the best abs and thigh on the Olympia stage, if not for Andrew Jacked. He'll have the best abs and thigh. He has those deeply cut abs a la Nick Walker, but Walker does not have that Hadi Choopan tiny little wee waist. Ramy has a small waist. Definitely no question. He does not have those abs. But what he does have is some huge, big, round, full quads. Here's the finals. Oh, baby. Look at Hadi here. His legs look better here in comparison. Ramrod, he doesn't have the cuts. Maybe he's not flexing as hard as he should be anyway. Hadi has a vacuum shot. Hoo-ah! They go to the side. And this is no favor to Ramy. This is a favor to Hadi Choopan. Now they're sticking their quads out at the same angle here. And Hadi, in my opinion, he's winning. A lot of the shots he's winning. And condition-wise, if your argument is Ramy, well, you got to think from the front. And here is the most muscular, the last shot. And a lot of these prejudging shots of Hadi, he was tilted so thusly, rendering them useless. Or is it? You can see that he is the more conditioned, more separated man. So like I said, if your argument is that Ramy's more conditioned, it's just basically glutes. That's about it. Here's the finals. Wow, yeah, Hadi, he was better at the finals, I think. And Ramy, not quite as good. And like I said, I will explain to you guys what I mean. Why I'm not going to penalize Hadi Choopan too much because of the funky Jimmy Rig delts. You took these two guys. You took this picture, showed it to somebody off the street, and you said that didn't know anything about sights. And you explained it to them and said, guess which guy is using them. A lot of them would probably say Ramy. But anyway, the classic anyway. Oh, here's a nice little shot I guess we're going to end off on. And Hadi's delts are a whole lot smaller. Definitely a lot smaller. It's a weak point for sure, whether you say there's something in there or not. And Ramy, he's huge. He's a standard. But you look at the midsection, the torso heap, the quads, the feathering, the condition. Hadi's your man for sure. Hadi's your guy. Maybe winning more shots as well. In my opinion, he is. But Ramy, I could understand people saying he's winning because he is much bigger, much larger, and ultimately, guys, if it's a glute competition like the Olympia sometimes is, he's going to win on that aspect. And size does matter, so Mark's Max Muscle does give Hadi Choopan actually an edge, but he's not going to beat the champion. You got to really knock out the champion, and he is most certainly not doing that. But anyway, guys, this is the big one. These are your top two, in Mark's Max Muscle's opinion. Brandon Curry might get in there. Hey, William Bonac, Nick Walker. Hit thumbs up, guys. Couple of days away. So excited, so excited. Subscribe. Have a nice one.